Hi guys, it's Sarah from Book Nerds and Fangirls, and I would like to start off this video with a quick disclaimer. In this video I will be talking about difficult subject matter including rape, suicide, sexual assault, gun violence, and other difficult subject matter. So if any of these matters are uncomfortable to you, or maybe a trigger for you, I would click away from this video now. Also, if you have not watched 13 Reasons Why Season 2, this review will be filled with spoilers, so I would suggest clicking off the video if you have not watched Season 2 yet. I will start off with the non-spoiler section, so as soon as you heard my non-spoiler thoughts, I would probably click off this video, but I would like to start off that with a quick disclaimer because I know some people are uncomfortable with the subject matter that 13 Reasons Why tends to deal with. So I just thought I would put that quick disclaimer in there because there are scenes of that in the show, and they do discuss those topics. So I thought I'd start with that. Also, another thing is I am aware of the controversy that surrounds Jay Asher at this point. If some of you may not know, Jay Asher is the author of 13 Reasons Why. I'm not gonna get into why there is controversy surrounding Jay Asher. I believe that everyone who follows him or has done any research on what he did must know by now. I didn't want this to be a negative video, so he will not be mentioned anywhere in this story. I would like you to know I am personally aware of the controversy that surrounds him and the things that he has done, as well as some other authors that had came out to be sued for the same thing. And I would also like to touch on the topic that Netflix does not support these people whatsoever. As soon as even a allegation is filed against them, they will fire them on the spot. So he is not involved in 13 Reasons Why Season 2 as far as I'm concerned, nor will I give him the time of the day past maybe a 30-second to a minute disclaimer, because I am aware of the controversy that surrounds this show. Also, why the show got pushed so far back. I do acknowledge that the show does have some pretty difficult themes, and I do acknowledge why some parents, and even people who aren't parents, found a lot of problems with the first season, as well as the second season. The second season also has problems, but my biggest beef with 13 Reasons Why is the fact that I really didn't know why they decided to continue it. With that being said, I was a huge fan of 13 Reasons Why 10-some years ago. It was the first book I had ever read in middle school that contained difficult subject matter. And mental health awareness books are totally my thing. I love them so much. Because I do consider myself to be a person who loves reading about difficult subject matter. Like, Ellen Hawkins is one of my favorite authors, and I read her stuff all the time, but I do understand how it can be damaging to some people. some people, and I will not make light of that anytime during this video. I just would like people to know that I am aware of every single controversy that followed the show, and I had decided to give the second season a chance, mostly because the first season didn't really bug me as much as it had bugged everyone else. It seemed to follow the book pretty well, and mind you, a lot of people was like, that would never happen nowadays, but this book was written 10 so years ago when I think it was a peak of social media, so while it did have social media aspects to it, it's not as modernized as some shows nowadays. They seem to, have this retro vibe to this show. Because they want to be faithful to its characters, not so much its author, but its source material. And I appreciate when shows try to be faithful to its source material. It's just, I guess they didn't really land their marker where they wanted it to go. And I could see these problems that some people had mentioned, like how it romanticizes suicide, which I totally do not agree with the romanticizing suicide thing. Someone literally had to explain to me why she had thought it romanticized suicide, and while she had some fair points, I didn't necessarily agree with it. Also, a quick disclaimer, just because I have my personal opinion does not mean that I don't respect your opinion, so safe space around here, guys. Guys, even feel free to leave your opinion down below, as long as we have a nice chat about it. It can even be a friendly debate. There's just no reason to have a lot of hate just because someone has a difference of opinion than you. But, as far as the second season, I didn't really like it as much as the first season. Mostly because of its ending. I really didn't like the ending to this season. And we'll talk about that really, really unnecessary scene during the last episode in a minute, because I'm pretty sure people who have seen the second season finale know what scene I'm talking about. There's also a lot of plot points that don't really seem to go anywhere in this season. I'll talk about those in a minute too, but as far as my score for this is the end of the non-spoiler review for people who want to stick around for spoilers. As far as my personal thoughts on the second season, I'll probably give it like a 6 out of 10. I didn't really mind the second season. I didn't think it was necessarily necessary. They could have made this a mini-series and it would totally have lived up to my expectations, and I would totally have loved it no matter what. But the second season I feel is unnecessary, and I feel like they're just dragging it out now. But I also acknowledge the fact that this series does talk about some points that most people don't really see. While we acknowledge them, we tend to sweep them under the rug too. And I like how we have a show nowadays that isn't afraid to push the boundaries of television. Also, for people who are saying this is not for teens and or kids, that is why the TVMA is in place. They also have disclaimers on the episodes. Netflix has also started doing a content warning on their episodes of 13 Reasons Why, which I really appreciate, because that was the problem with the first season. They didn't really have a content warning. And this series does have content warnings, because they do touch on some very sensitive subject matter. So if any of that makes you feel uncomfortable, I would skip this series altogether as a whole. But without further ado, let's get into spoilers. So bye, non-spoilerly people. Okay, so first off, I want to talk about the new characters because we got quite a few new characters in this series. I wrote this down on my little pretty notebook because I had such trouble remembering the names of the people, new people. I remember the faces, I just don't remember the names. So we're gonna start off with Scott, who was the one that told Clay, just because I like baseball does not mean I support rapists, which is a pretty good line in my opinion. I don't really know what to think of Scott. I like how he banded together with everyone at the end. To stop that. What, Monty, dude? We'll get to Monty in a minute because that is one motherfucker I hate so much right now. But he was okay. Now, my most besides Monty and Bryce, I would have to say another character I liked the least in this one, even though I feel sorry for her so much, is Chloe. Oh my god, I felt so bad for Chloe this season, you guys. I felt like she was a great addition. The only reason why I hated Chloe is because of her blind faith in Bryce, and we'll get to that in a minute. But my god, I have never seen a girlfriend hear so much shit about her boyfriend, and knowing that that's true, and knowing the truth, and then just going, oh, they obviously must be lies. I don't hate Chloe as a character. I just firmly believe for a very highly educated person like they claim Chloe is, I think she's really stupid. Honestly, I think it was way too easy for Bryce to convince her that everyone was lying, including Jessica. Like, oh my god. Poor Jessica during this series. And what Chloe did to Jessica just to, help to scare her off into not testifying against her rapist. I mean, come on. Come on, have a little class. Please. Now, Cyrus, the addition of Cyrus, I liked Cyrus. At first, I thought he was gonna be a really, bad character. I know that's totally me just, I don't know. No, I didn't think I would like Cyrus as much as I liked him, but I think he's a pretty good addition. Don't really know much to say about him. As well as his sister Mackenzie, I feel like they were just there to move the progress of Tyler's storyline through, which is another thing. I feel like Tyler's storyline wasn't really fleshed out during this season. No, the end result was fleshed out not as much as it could have been, which we'll get to in a minute, because oh my god, this ending, guys, I just can't even. I feel like it wasn't fleshed out whatsoever. I feel like that episode was last minute drama just to have something for season 3 to focus on. But I feel like they were just there to progress Tyler's storyline, because all I remember about Cyrus is that he's all like, I'm an outsider and fuck everyone, all the jocks in the school, and he's kind of like the rebel in this case, and I kind of liked him. And Mackenzie was really nice. That's all I know about her character, is that she's really nice. I don't know. I feel like these new characters weren't fleshed out as much as some of the other characters, and that's probably another reason why I didn't like some of these things. I don't remember who Caleb is. I wrote down all these, like, new characters, and I don't even know who they are because I got them on IMDb. But we'll get there in a minute. Like, I feel so unprepared, guys. You don't even know. No, I don't even. Like, who is Caleb? trying to remember who he is. Oh, okay, Caleb was, the boxing, Tony's new boyfriend. I liked him. He was a good addition. I like how he gets Tony. I like how he's so understanding. I'm all like, ooh, I actually like this new edition, unlike the other new editions where I feel like they didn't necessarily have a point in being there. They could have just used the original cast and nothing would have changed, honestly. Except, Nina. I like Nina. Okay, so the next one I have here is Jackie. There are so many new characters, guys, let me tell you. Now, Jackie, I liked that she was a support system for, Olivia, who is Hannah's mother. For those of you who don't know, her name's Olivia. I like how she's her support system. One thing I hate about Olivia, though, is how it just took one accusation of Hannah being a bully for her to just leave her mother in the dust. It's kind of like her mother couldn't. Well, I think the figure why it was such a big deal is that her mother was aware of the issue, but she tried to hide it. But how did Jackie necessarily know that Olivia tried to hide the fact that her daughter had been a bully, even though Hannah felt really guilty about bullying that Sarah girl? I didn't really like how the end of their friendship was done, honestly, but it happens. I didn't really get a lot of Jackie's daughter's background. I knew Jackie's daughter had committed suicide, and she was a part of Olivia's support group, I guess. So the next one I would like to touch on is Nina. I did like how she helped Jessica through her feelings of being sexually assaulted. It surprised me at the end when we found out she was one who had took the Polaroids to burn them. But I guess we'll figure out why, and there are 2 reasons why season 3 if they get one. Oh god, Rick. So, for those of you who don't know Rick, it is the baseball coach. I fucking hated him, I'm not gonna lie. Anyone who defends a rapist and thinks it's okay to bully and just like kids are too sensitive nowadays and blah blah blah, like, talk about like the worst human being on this planet. It's all like, you're jumping on Mr. Porter's ass because he basically like stood up to Bryce, who is like a fucking rapist, but you're gonna stand there and go like, I don't care what you are off this field. When you're on this field, you're family. And I'm like, no, we do not defend rapists. Oh my god, really? So, Alex's mom and dad are new additions, I believe. I liked their storyline with their son. That's actually one of the parts I liked, was his birthday party, but we'll get to that in a minute on my things I like section. Nora and Barry, which are Bryce's parents, I hated them too. It's kind of like, yeah, I know my son is an accused rapist, and I know anything he wants, he could get, yada yada, that kind of attitude. Oh my god, I was so happy when Bryce's mother fucking slapped the shit out of him because he finally admitted it. But, god. Like, and then we have Sonia, who is like the school's lawyer. I hate her too. Like, you don't see the fault in the education system when they can't even pick up on the fact that a student is hurting. Even the principal, like the fucking principal, when Mr. Porter gave him those files and said, I believe these kids are critical, I believe you have to keep an eye on them, all he did was fucking threw the files on his desk and just ignored them. Like, who does that? We'll touch that on about the things I didn't like about this series. And then, I know she's not a new character, but she wasn't really that much a part of the first season to be considered as even a supporting character, and that's Sky. Like, she was only in 3 episodes this season, guys. Like, we got her being Clay's girlfriend for those 2 episodes, and then she cuts her herself a little too deep, and then they refer her to a psychiatric treatment center where she's diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and she, there was a lot of things done with Sky's storyline, but they also did that so they could write her out, I guess. I just didn't really get the relationship between her and Clay, honestly. Probably just so they could write her out, have a way to write her out, but also they could have done that multiple ways. They didn't really have to have them together. I believe they had somewhat of a cute relationship. It's just that they didn't help each other move on or progress any. So I'm gonna jump into the main and the supporting characters. Starting from the principal. Oh my god, this principal. I hated this principal so much because all he would do was not be very helpful. He even stopped the talks about suicide because he felt like it was pressuring kids to commit suicide, or he felt like the more people think about it, the more they were gonna want to glorify it and do it. But necessarily, not talking about the topic will help that either. It'll just make people think that they could bottle up more. And believe it or not, some teenagers don't talk to adults about what they're going through. They should. For sure, they should talk to an adult about what they're going through. But most of them don't. And that makes me sad. Ryan, I felt like he didn't really have a lot to do this season. It was very interesting to find out that him and Tony had a thing with each other. I found that pretty cute. Andy, I didn't really like Andy. I didn't like the fact that he decided he was gonna have an affair with someone, and then tell his daughter, you gotta keep this between us. That just reminds me of Arya's dad from Pretty Little Liars. Take a page out of his book. It never fucking ends well. Well, I like how Hannah just told him, either you tell mom or I do. I'm just all like, I would do that too. Mostly, like, if my parents had done that, and my dad had cheated on my mom, I would have told him, you either tell her or I do, because I don't support cheaters in any way, shape, or form, and I don't like that. Marcus, I really hated how he lied about Hannah making advances on him to better himself because he wanted to make sure his campaign would stay on point. It's just scumbag. I hate politics so much. They make people do like the scummiest things, I swear. Courtney, I felt like her storyline didn't really progress from the fact that she had come out to her parents and had gotten a new girlfriend and pulled the fire alarm. She didn't really have much to do, which is another topic that I'll get to of things I don't like in 13 Reasons Why Season 2. Sherry didn't really have much to do except help Justin get through his drug bender, which I like Sherry. I really pull for her and Clay to get together, honestly. I'm a total Sherry and Clay shipper, even though she was one of the reasons why his friend died. Two of his friends, actually. I also liked how Clay's dad was more, involved. Oh my god, Monty. Oh god, we're gonna get to Monty now. I fucking hated what Monty did to Tyler. Just because, we lost our season because of you. Like, really, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Is a game and a win that important to you that you would literally assault someone like that? Like, I can't even with this guy. Like, he's, like, I don't want to say he's worse than Bryce, but he is at the same level as Bryce when it comes to fucked upness. I could totally, like, oh god, really? Olivia? Oh god. I felt, so sad for Like, Hannah's mom is the one I feel for the most when it comes to Hannah's suicide. Her storyline, I really liked it because it touched more on the fact that she feels like anything she said or did to her daughter, it affected her daughter when it came to her suicide. And I was really touched by the fact that she acknowledges that some of the things she might have said or did might have contributed. I like how she owns up to that she's not trying to hide. I like how she was supportive with Jessica and didn't hate Jessica for not openly coming out against the whole her being raped thing. I liked that. I liked how she responded with such grace whenever she had lost the court case. She didn't start punching people. She didn't shoot Bryce right on the fucking spot. All she did was she kept calm. She was very rational. Very sad scene whenever Jackie had washed her dress that still had her daughter's blood on it. Because I do agree with her that was a violation and how she wanted to do it on her own time. And you just can't really push people into being ready to let go of their daughter that had just died 5 months ago, no less. It takes years. You might not even recover from that, honestly. Now, one character I really liked was Mr. Porter. I didn't really like him during the first season because, of course, he had just let Hannah go, even though he could tell it was there was something so obviously wrong with her. I like that he acknowledged that during his court hearing. I liked that so much. It was one of my favorite episodes, his episode. And I like how he feels like he needs to stick up for these kids. That is what a good counselor should be. And it pissed me the fuck off that the school fired him for it, which we'll get to in a minute. Clay's mom, I liked her a little bit. I agree with his father whenever he's just telling them, you're both acting like children whenever they're arguing. That was a good plot point. Tyler, I feel like Tyler didn't really have a lot to do this season besides the whole gun thing and being friends with Cyrus. And of course, what happened to him was tragic. I hated to see him go through that. Yeah, I know he's a pervert and he takes pictures of girls without their permission. And I do see his faults. But I don't think he deserves to have a mop shoved up his ass? That was an uncomfortable scene. We'll get to that in a minute. But I don't believe he deserves that. Like, oh my god, talk about violent. It's like, God, these people are fucked up. Zach, I liked how they expanded on Zach's storyline. I believe he had the most character development in the show. Me not really liking Zach during the first season because he felt like, oh my god, she rejected you. Boo-hoo. But now I we see more of the story. We see that him and Hannah had sex all through the summer. We realize that he really did dig her, but he was too afraid of what his friends thought. Typical mess up. Anyone could do it. I like how Zach was not in support of Bryce. I like how Zach was the one who was pretty much giving Clay the Polaroids for the clubhouse. I liked how it was Zach all along because he didn't appreciate what Bryce was doing. He doesn't like what Bryce does, and honestly, I think Bryce should get beat the fuck up. I hate Bryce so much. He's my least favorite character. Like, ugh. I hate him. Alex's storyline, I think, was pretty well done. Well done. I feel like he had one of the strongest storylines in this show, from his attempted suicide at the end of season 1 to how it affected others when he had tried to kill himself, to the way it affected him and his family. I like how they did the cause and effect of his storyline, kind of like how they do with Hannah's storyline. Because this whole show is based off the cause and effect of Hannah's suicide, so I like how that's well done. I especially like the scene of him and Jessica. Didn't really see them getting back together, honestly. Although I'm a little confused about his sexuality, whether he is straight, gay, or bisexual. He could totally be bisexual. Or either that or the thing that happened with Zach could have totally been played off for jokes. Like I said, there's a lot of loose points where they're probably going to touch up on in season 3. Right now, Bryce, I have never seen a motherfucker that get away with so much shit just because he plays sports, and they find him to be the golden boy, and even his girlfriend. Oh my god, his girlfriend was like, let him get away with everything. Like, she had evidence that he had raped her. She had Jessica pretty much tell her the same damn thing. She heard his confession on a tape as well as Hannah's story, and she still sticks by him. Like, I have never seen a motherfucker get away with so much shit, and it made me so pissed off that he had only got 3 months probation for raping Jessica. When it was pretty much proven that he had raped 2 other people, even though Chloe didn't confess to it. We knew he did it. It was just like, Justin's storyline. I hate the fact that he's doing heroin now. Honestly, I would never thought he had went through the path that his mother had taken. Even his mother didn't like that. Now, Justin and Jessica having sex at the end, I was just all like, I don't really think they should have had her forgive him that easily. Honestly, I know that we spent a whole season with her going, oh my god, I hate you and I never want to see your fucking face again. But honestly, it was kind of like, So, Tony, I like how Tony had more stuff to do this season. I like his boyfriend, totally cute. I like how they expanded on his background story. That was a nice touch. Hannah, I don't know how I feel about Ghost Hannah, because, well, some episode she fucking provoked me like no one's business. I really did see why they had chose this angle for this season. I started to, and it was sad to see her go at the end, honestly, when her ghost finally went into light because she had found peace because Clay had finally forgave her. Like, that was a good storyline. I enjoyed it. Now, Clay for a supporting character, I find that Jessica is more intriguing as well as some of the other characters. Clay's not a bad character. He's kind of like the moral compass of the show, to where everyone has to be perfect or else he doesn't really like them. Now, I get why he hates Bryce, and I get why he hates all the other people for what they did to Hannah. But I really liked how, it was either Zach or someone else pointed out to him, okay, so you claim you love Hannah, but you hear a couple of bad things that you didn't know about her, and suddenly you don't give a shit anymore? That's not love. You just want her to be perfect, and she's not. She's human, and I like how they pointed that out. It's like, you can't just stop giving a shit just because you find out a few bad things about people. People are people, and they tend to do shitty-ass things. So, let's get into what I didn't like about this series. The outcome of both court cases really drove me crazy. crazy. I didn't really like how the school had one for being negligent towards their students. Like, we personally see how they personally don't give a shit. Like, there are some people that give a shit in that school, like Mr. Porter, but not a lot. Like, not even the principal gives a lot of a shit. He just doesn't want this school's reputation to be destroyed. But you think if you want your school to have an outstanding reputation, you would give a shit about your students. And what actually happens to them, but oh well. A loss is a loss, and they didn't really have a lot of reason to sue the school. So I was wondering exactly how they would sue a whole establishment. And you know, it's like, and then we have, like, the whole court case of Bryce and Jessica. I hated how that motherfucker only got 3 months probation because the judge feels like young people make mistakes. I'm like, no, he's a fucking rapist. You shouldn't let him off for that. You shouldn't give him 3 months probation. At least give him, like, a year. Like, not 3 months, just because you think he's some golden boy. It's like, it really goes to show you how, even though we have a good justice system, it could be also sometimes flawed. Well, especially when it comes to that. I didn't like the fact that Hannah's tapes are pretty much useless when it comes to the trial of the school. Like Leigh had said, he gave the police department the tapes, Bryce's confession, and yet at no point does that really come up during the case. They never use them as evidence or play them or anything else. They don't even use them in Bryce's case. Like, here are 2 people saying that this dude rapes them, and you just want to give him 3 months probation? Because one's dead, and I don't know, it's just like, I was just like, I feel like that wouldn't be realistic. I feel like if they did have Hannah's tapes in evidence, then there would be some relevance to what she's saying on them, and that they would be used throughout the trial. And I just don't really understand why they had never come into effect. Another thing I hate, everyone blindly believing Bryce no matter what he did. No matter how much evidence was against him. Like, you have not 2, but 3 girls he raped on this show. You have Hannah, who's now dead. You have Jessica, who firmly believes that just because she is half black, they won't believe her because she feels like it's easier if you're white. Which is how Chloe comes into effect, because she is like the quote-unquote, I wouldn't say quote-unquote, I don't know why I said quote-unquote, but you firmly believe that Jessica realistically thinks that way, and in some ways, you know, it is the truth, no matter how fucked up it is. It's just, oh my god, why does the court system do that? Like, I don't really know. No, and then you have Chloe, who blindly believes Bryce no matter what. I don't really like that Chloe blindly believes Bryce. I would have at least dumped him after I saw the pictures of him raping me, but, you know, why Chloe didn't. I know she's pregnant. I know that, but did she know that she was pregnant during the court case? I have no clue. I hated how the school fired Mr. Porter because he actually gave a shit and testified against them. It's like, do you firmly believe that the school did everything they could? And he's like, no, I firmly believe that they could have done more. Just like they could do more now, and they don't. Like, his testimony I loved so much. Like, another thing I hated was the school basically banning talking about suicide. Well, I get that some people may take it the way that the school seems like they take it. Not talking about it is worse than actually it's worse because then kids feel like they can't go up and talk to adults about it. Because if you don't even let them talk about it normally, what's gonna make them think that they could safely go to a guidance counselor or a teacher or a principal when they pretty much have a gag clause about talking about suicide? Because it's uncomfortable to some people. It's just like, why do they do that? No one. It really agitated me. So the one thing I hated the most was the mob assault on Tyler because Monty, I believe his name is, he's all like, oh, you cost us our season, and you're the reason why I had to do probation, and all this other stuff. Like, that made me really heated. Like, you do not fucking assault someone with a fucking mop. You do not do that. Like, this kid literally smashes Tyler's head into a mirror, into a sink, like 3 or 4 times, drags his fucking body through the floor, almost drowns him in the toilet, and then pretty much shoves a mop all the way up his ass because he feels like what he's doing is justified, and that is the reason why you don't. And that is not a justified reason to do all this shit to Tyler, no matter how pissed you are. Like, I really hope he gets, like, all the repercussions to his actions. I hope he gets arrested for fucking assault. Assault, because that is assault. Assault, and I believe it's also sexual assault, too. It's just, oh my god, why would you do that to a person just because you feel fucking justified? That is not like, you lost your season? Big deal. Big deal. You don't fucking, like, this guy is a fucking psycho. Why is he even there? He's just like, oh my god. It's just, like, that scene made me so heated. Yeah, and I don't get why he thinks that he's justified in his actions. Especially that end action. Like, bro. Like, not even, like, the 2 people that held him down were, like, oh my god, dude, seriously? I think one of them might have said that. And he said, shut up. I would have to, like, I don't really feel like watching this scene again. It made me so uncomfortable, and I really felt like it was really unnecessary to add this scene, but I feel like Tyler had to be really pushed, and he was even beginning to feel really pushed, but he was getting better, and then Montgomery just did this shit, and I don't even know why he's Montgomery to me. He's Monty, but, like, oh my god, seriously, things had to be done about these fucking softball players. They can't just keep on doing this illegal shit and getting away with it. It just makes me so heated. Let me tell you. Bryce's parents also excusing his fucking behavior and going like, well, obviously this girl just wanted attention, that's why she said that you raped her. It's like, not gonna lie, if 1 or 2 girls had come out saying my son had raped them, even if it was just 1, I would disown my son, like, right there and then. It's just like, oh my god, seriously? Seriously, his mother slapping him was, like, my favorite thing ever. The ending also was very, difficult for me to get through, especially after that mop scene. I was so afraid that Tyler was actually going to end up shooting up the school. And I was all like, oh, please don't do that. I was glad he, decided not to, but I'm a little curious to see as to how that's gonna end up, but we'll see. See, at points, I didn't really like Hannah's ghost. We already discussed, like, especially when it came to interfering with, Sky and Clay's relationship. I didn't really like that. Things I liked and loved about 13 Reasons Why Season 2. I feel like I rambled on, so there's not really, any time to talk about my favorite scenes, I liked that Mr. Porter's testimony. I liked how he was basically rethinking in his brain over what he could have done differently to help save Hannah. And the thing that almost made me lose it, the thing that genuinely made me cry during this season was Mr. Porter saying, "I'm sorry I didn't save you, Hannah. I'm so sorry I let you down. I felt that so hard. Oh my god, I was crying in tears. I'm so sorry I couldn't save you, Mrs. Baker. I wish I would have tried." It was you could really genuinely see that he felt guilt about what he was doing. I liked how Chloe scratched every bad thing that was being said about Jessica. Also, Jessica's storyline I liked a lot. I think that was well done. I liked how Jessica, they handled Alex's situation of him attempting suicide. I liked how at the party he was yelling about, "Oh, well, I wish I would have succeeded," and stuff. I liked how Jessica confronted him about that. I was genuinely happy when she's all like, "No, fuck you. After everything you knew I went through, you didn't think I needed my best friend there? Well, fuck you. Dude, I needed you, and you almost left me." And I was all like, oh, that made me cry, too. Dude, Jessica's storyline had me in tears. I liked that a lot. I like how Justin came to Clay's defense a lot. I like Tony, expanding on Tony's thing. I like how the grief of a parent was done pretty well. Well, I'm feeling like I'm being rushed here because I am. Because I'm stretched for time. In this, I liked how a lot of things were done. I like how, what's his name? I like how Zach stood up for Clay and was like, enough is enough. I like Zach's storyline a lot. I like how Justin changed a lot, even though he's like a heroin addict now. I really hope that he becomes clean through some means. And the very ending, I like how the night we met comes on, and everyone who knows that that was Clay's final dance of Hannah, they decided to go in the center of him and hug him and comfort him. That really touched me a lot. That was one of my genuine I gotta cry scenes. And just the support systems in this show I really liked a lot. My favorite character has got to be Jessica. I really liked her a lot this season. Also, about the things I didn't like was Sky's storyline. I didn't really like how they ended that. I felt it very unnecessary to end her storyline on that. But I do like Jessica's storyline. Jessica's storyline was my favorite out of all of them. But as far as things I gotta talk about now, I feel like the second season, even though it wasn't as good as the first season, I feel like it did deliver on a lot about the subject matter. There was also a lot about gun violence in this one. I didn't really have a lot of time to talk about the gun violence being used in this, but that was a pretty important topic. I like how they touched upon it because it is a huge issue in our country. I like at the very beginning of two things I forgot. Things I liked. I liked how they included all the sexual assault victims and telling their stories. Because I feel like that's hugely important to realize that even the smallest thing you could do could affect someone. And it's just oh my god, you don't even know what people are going through until you've heard about it. But I did like how it's all it's their job to share their story. I liked that a lot. I also liked Clay's eulogy to Hannah. I believe it was so sweet. Like, I cried a lot. But, there you guys have it. That was my thoughts on 13 Reasons Why Season 2. What do you think of 13 Reasons Why Season 2? And what topic did I not discuss that you would like to discuss? Discuss down below in the comments. Comment down below, let me know, and I'll see you guys in my next video.